A new season awakens, hungry and eager to devour the weak and unprepared. Dreams will die, hope will die with it. But for one, and only one, glory awaits. And so it begins.
What's up, my homies? It's your boy, Jake Harris, the commish, the snake in the grass. Joined tonight by La Rata Roja.
The Red Rat strikes again. It's good to be back.
How you feeling tonight, Red Rat?
I'm feeling good. How about you, Rat Baby? The Rat Pack is heating up and stronger than ever before.
Fire is hot.
Brent, Ray, Jake, Peter, we're ready to steal the draft and then take over the season. Scummy trades, questionable judgment, maybe some investigations, but we'll see. It helps when the commish is in your fraternity.
Yes, there could be a little bit of an investigation, maybe a little like, you know. Uh-oh. All right, so tonight we got a special show for you guys. We are kicking off the season. The season is starting this week. Can't wait to see y'all. And to get this party started, we've got some predictions for the 2021 season. We have got a 4 teams that we're going to pick for the playoffs. We're going to predict the champion, and we're each going to predict our MOY front runner. But before we do any of that, I have got some juicy tidbits that I've been working on scrounging up. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the. I've been keeping my ear to the ground. We're going to talk about some of the news that I have been hearing about the draft picks. This might come as a surprise, Pigu. But Rata Roja, Patrick Mahomes might not be the first pick of the draft.
That can't be right. Where did you hear this? Did you hear it from the main source, the number one pick?
You are fake news.
I mean, look.
You are fake news.
It's not fake news.
Wrong.
I'm not wrong. Listen. Listen. Okay. I've been talking to the man himself. And he was waffling. Here's the thing. He's got no reason to lie because he's got the first pick. So like, it's not going to affect anything if he lies to me. Like
whatever he decides, he can either have.
But in a much more real sense, why wouldn't he lie?
Either way,
it's a very Todd thing to do, right? Yeah,
he's going to walk away with the number one player at whatever position he wants.
That is true.
He could go tight end, for all we know. He might like Kelsey. Maybe he's a Kelsey guy more than Mahomes.
He was, and he was also talking about trading the pick and thinking about this could be our first ever pre-draft trade.
Now I have to call him.
I know. I don't know if he's actively shopping it or not, but I know he is waffling and he's not sure what to do.
Would you give up a first and a second for Patrick Mahomes?
Oof.
That's a lot of power. You'd have to give up a lot.
That is a lot.
And we know from the past that if you miss on your first or your second pick, it really hurts your draft, and it's hard to make the playoffs if you whiff on one of those.
Yeah, man.
Your dad hit on both of those last year and didn't win.
But that's not the only news we got. Second part of the news is Borden might be going a first-round running back for the first time ever.
That's also very innovative.
I thought this was a free walk for Ray to get Christian McCaffrey, but that may not be the case. Running back depth may dry up this draft. It's hard to say. Usually it lasts until the 4th or 5th in our league, but people are getting better. People are doing more research. It might be the case that they're ready to step up and draft those RBs, man.
Now, do you think Ray is going to play his favorites game, or do you think he goes against his grain and plays?
I did talk to Ray about the second round pick. He's definitely going to be grabbing one of the big 3 running backs. He might, if Mahomes falls, he might be grabbing Mahomes because, like, how could you not in our league? But importantly, I was talking to him about the Saquon on the turn. If he ended up with C-Mac, talking about that C-Mac Saquon stack, that's a lot of upside. That's hard for him to pass up. He wasn't sure what to do. He does feel the burn, though. He does feel that Saquon burn. Doesn't love him anymore. So,
Scorned lover.
a scorned
Similar to
lover.
Ray. Yeah,
Yeah,
similar
dude.
to Ray and Phil's
Yeah,
relationship.
sometimes, like you ask Ray sometimes, like, Ray, how do you feel about Saquon Barkley? Like another season with Saquon Barkley, and he told me.
Another one.
So, anywho, let's go ahead and get into our 2021 predictions. Peter, kick it off, brother.
All right. My 4 playoff teams that I see dominating
Oh,
the league this
you
year.
don't think this is going to be another close season then, do you?
I don't think we're going to get a season like last season where there were about 6 teams that had a chance to make
Last
the playoffs.
season was magical.
It came down to the last couple of weeks.
It did.
My 4 teams going to the playoffs. I've got the commish. Rat baby.
Thank you.
La Rata baby.
Rata, baby.
I've got myself. I've got Todd Craig. And I've got Borden. I think a sneaky. I know. Borden gets a lot of hate on this show.
You think he's going to show up and try hard then in the draft, huh?
I do. I think he's tired of being smack talked. I think he's gonna. I think Borden's a good manager. He made it to the playoffs in the first season.
Okay.
Tell me, who do you see going to the playoffs this year?
Run down your teams one more time.
I got Jake, Peter, Todd Craig,
right.
not Todd Harris, and Borden.
Okay. Oh damn! And the call out. Wow.
He's one of the only people.
That's intense, man.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my squad that I got going. I've got future Moy. I've got my co-host, the cheater.
Can I bring him back?
Cheater.
No epic fails.
I've also got Todd Craig. Although,
wow.
Here's the thing about Todd Craig. He's the S-tier manager.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's getting lucky or if he's actually really good at this.
Why not
because,
both?
Like, Porque no los dos. Great question, Peter. Here's the thing. He had, before our first season, either he was straight up, like, doing the long con on us, be like, what's football? He didn't even know, the rules of football before he started playing fantasy football with us.
Now he's obsessed, and he can't. Now it could be destroying his marriage, his family life, but he's a degenerate fantasy football player in an 8-man family league.
He's getting texts all day. He's constantly on his phone. Honey, put your phone up. I can't, hon. It's the fantasy football league. This is an important
Waivers go
trial.
live. Waivers go live at 4 a.m. Wednesday morning.
He's glued to the edge of his seat on all the different trials. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Todd Craig is a bit of a wild card because I don't know if he knows what he's doing, if he's doing a lot of research and just not telling anybody that he's doing research, or if he is just getting lucky. But it's hard to argue with results. My last team, this one's controversial. I see a return of the king. Todd Harris is the 4th team in the playoff. I think he's sick of losing. I do think that he does not like that taste of defeat. And I think that last year being awarded the MOY could be the fire that he needed to be lit underneath him to get a little bit of research done in the offseason. That's the only thing that's really prevented him from doing well. He has decent drafts. He performs decently on the waiver wire. He's aggressive on the waiver wire. You need to be aggressive in an 8-team league.
Dude, you're highlighting a lot of great points. When we went over our tiers rankings, I've got the notes right here. Actually, your dad, Todd, has one of the best overall records in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's right there at the top of overall records. That's why I had him ranked number 4 in managers. He's a big wheeler and dealer, and we all know that risk equal reward. He's not afraid. He's not going to sit back and watch his and take a beating in the weekly matchups. At least he plays actively to win. So I like that. I wavered on TOD, but Todd's been biting the hand that feeds him. The only person who supports him in the league has been getting called out, and He's gonna pretty soon. He's not gonna have any allies in the league if he keeps this up.
Dang,
Wow.
that's a hot take.
Was one of the top. I might be his only supporter in the league.
Todd Harris.
Don't be rude.
There you go.
Don't be rude. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next pick
Okay,
prediction
the champ.
here. Who is the champ?
This might be. I don't know if this is. It's gonna be hard to repeat as a champ.
Yeah.
You of all people should know. It's not easy the next
The
year.
only repeat champ in
Heavy
the
is
league.
the one, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I've got Todd Craig repeating as it. I think the S tier champ does it. I've got a back. I think this
Todd
is where
Craig.
he's.
Does the C in TC stand for champ instead of Craig? Wow.
I've got Todd Craig repeating.
The champ is here. Okay. Now, I voted with my vote to go ahead and give myself that championship.
There you go. Well, either way, then we would have a repeat, not a repeat, but one of the two only two champions are gonna get a chance to go after it. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
A lot can happen. Now, how do you feel about your draft position? Do you feel like there's a lot of opportunity and power to be acquire a good team in the sixth spot?
6 is probably my least favorite because I feel like in the 6 you're in the least control of your destiny.
Mm-hmm. You can't react to the trends as quickly. Todd Craig's on a corner. He's on the 8th spot, and I'm curious to see how he does there.
Yeah, being on those bookends can be nice as you get to set the trends. And it also sometimes takes a lot of decision making away. Like if it goes all the way back and and just running back. Oh well, there's none left. I'm just going to grab the best wide receivers because all you idiots passed on the wide receivers. And that's been Todd Craig's strategy. He's been wide receiver very deep and elite at his wide receiver positions, and it's carried him far. He's had one good running back and then elite wide receivers, and he's done great.
Tell me, Moy.
Exactly.
Moy.
Moy. Let's talk about the Moy, bruh.
You want to hear my pick?
Def.
I've got the one true Moy winning it again after going to the playoffs. I believe the one true Moy will rise and wear the crown that he so rightly earned in season 1. I've got Borden winning Moy. I think Borden puts a lot together this season. And
bro, Borden has never been a Moy. What are you talking about?
Interesting.
There's never been a Moy.
There's a scandalous history to the Moy Award, but
no,
all that matters is who wears the crown. If you have,
must be
Todd
present to win.
Todd is our first Moy, but I just think Borden's gonna do it this year. I think Borden regains the crown, but he never had it to begin with. All right, who did you pick? I want to know. You can't pick yourself because everyone in the league already has.
Enough of the delusional ramblings. No one's going to vote for me for Moy. I've accepted that.
Nobody likes you.
It's going to be Todd Craig. It's going to be Todd Craig. He's lovable. He's humble. People are going to recognize the greatness that is Todd Craig this season.
An S-tier manager.
The Moy hat and trophy are going to be shipping off to TC's house. But not the championship. I'm here to stuff those dreams for you, Todd.
Just an interesting pattern. Every Moy winner has been in the playoffs, so at least it's 2 seasons. But I do think that plays into Moy. It's hard to have a losing. It's hard to be in the losers bracket and win Moy. So.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Could not agree more. Now, what do you think about the segment that we are really actually here for?
I'm ready.
2020 was a hard season for a lot of us. It was long, it was solemn.
It challenged us.
It was a little bit scary,
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Look, they would never understand the kinds of hardships that we dealt with here at the MOY Ploy. So, before we jump into this next new season, we're going to take a look at some of the lowlights of the MOY, the biggest disappointments of the MOY Ploy 2020. Peter, what do you got for us?
All right, my first most disappointing point of this 2020 season was Ray and Phil both choking in the playoffs. I really expected more from those two in the playoffs, and it just was a disappointing semifinal round. Phil with the number one pick, he took Patrick Mahomes. He didn't stand back. He didn't stay back. He played actively. He made trades. Some might have been questionable. Some were probably good, but
Mhm.
he didn't. He earned his way to the playoffs, and then he shat the bed. Ray Moy, highest best record in the league, didn't show up. Didn't show up. All right, number
Didn't
two.
show up.
Todd Harris's collapse during the regular season. It was
Oof.
as the reigning Moy. I just, this is why he's on the hot bus this year. I know he has one of the best records in the season over the two seasons, but most of that was done in the first year with like an 8-4 record. He's got to bring it this year. He's on the hot seat. Same with Ray. If you've won
Yep.
Moy, you need a championship to go with that to be considered a
Ooh,
Hall of Famer.
hot take. Let's go. Love that take.
Number three, I passed on both Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen in the draft for people like Ben Roethlisberger and Carson Wentz, and I finished the season 0-4. I reaped what I sowed. I got what I deserved. And if I you had okay, the other thing I did was I took Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round. I reached for a Chiefs player because
Oof.
I wanted,
That
you've
was
got to
you got the
hit.
big fart for that one.
This is what I know. You need to hit a top 5 QB in you got to hit a top 5 player at QB, running back, and wide receiver to win the championship.
Yes.
Number 4, Brent losing Moy. Brent Van Conyu was done a
Oh,
disservice
come
by the
on.
community. Brent Van
Come
Conyu was
on.
done a disservice by the community. Brent,
Ugh.
I just felt like he had an underappreciated season last year for his success. He was playoff bound. He lost in the championship, and you know,
Wrong,
Rat
wrong,
Pack.
wrong, wrong.
That's our Rat Pack brother. And then number 5,
He is a Rat
for-
Pack brother. Sorry.
number
Brent.
5.
You just didn't deserve Moy last year, though.
I'm taking a shot at my guy who's going to win Moy and hit the playoffs this year. It's Borden not drafting. I want him there on draft day to participate. He'll
Mm,
argue otherwise. I'll never win the argument against him
no.
to convince him. But I just think it's being a part of the community. It's part, it's doing something that you may not want to do to be with the people you love. So I just think that's a disappointment.
Yeah.
And so that's it, the top 5. And I'm curious how disappointing this season will be, 2021.
If you were to ask Borden to show up somewhere, like to meet other people, what do you think he would say?
Wrong. That's awesome. That is right.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got 18 minutes. This is the season kickoff extraordinaire of the MOY Play. We're going to keep these episodes a bit shorter for you normally, but this ain't no normal episode. This is season opener. Season opener. So we're going to break down the previous drafts and we're going to give y'all some grades. You ready to get into it?
I'm ready, dude.
Let's do it. All right. Let's go by the pick order this year. Last year, Todd Harris's team, Commish Hates Me, his draft went like this. He had Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Desean Watson, Miles Sanders, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mark Andrews, Kareem Hunt, Tyler Lockett, Mecole Hardman, Le'Veon Bell. If we count down those hits and misses there, Derrick Henry hit, huge hit. Lamar Jackson, Not great at the start, but finished strong. However,
Mm-hmm.
his draft price did not pay off, so that was a bit of a whiff. Desean Watson did pretty good. Um, Missed some time, I believe, with an injury, didn't he?
No, he did.
No.
Deshaun Watson had a great season last year. I think he
That's right.
he might have led the league in passing yards for all I know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He did
Sorry.
great last year.
I
He was
just
a
remember
good
Deshaun Watson being
return.
fine.
No,
Yeah.
he had your dad had 2 elite QBs.
Yeah, no, he decided to bench those in favor of Phillip Rivers. I don't know why.
Mm.
But then he had Miles Sanders, didn't pan out very well, traded him quickly for pennies on the dollar. Juju was fine, but definitely not worth the first fifth round investment. Mark Andrews didn't really hit. Kareem Hunt was okay, but that's what you drafted him to be. Tyler Lockett was incredible and terrible in the same season. Mecole Hardman has no business being drafted there. Lev Bell, same thing. I would give my dad's draft a solid low B, high C.
Okay.
I feel like he hit on a couple. Tyler Lockett was decent value for where he got him in the 8th round there. Mark Andrews was okay in the 6th. Deshaun Watson was good. Derrick Henry was good. And Lamar Jackson didn't exactly like ruin your entire season by taking him there. So, solid middle tier draft there. The second overall pick going to Borden.
That was bad.
We're just going to go through this so fast because this was just brutal. Michael
The
Thomas.
5 QB run was
Michael Thomas. Oops. Nick Chubb. Great. DK Metcalf. Fantastic, but you did reach a little bit for him. Dak Prescott.
Do you care if it's a reach if there's a good return on investment? Because DK
Yes.
Metcalf had
It's all about
1,300
value.
yards and
Listen.
10 tutties.
Yeah. He was great. It's all about value, though. If you're able to wait on a player and get them at a better value, and you're reaching down 3, sometimes 4 rounds to pick that player up, that player is no longer valuable.
It's true. It's true. I'm trying to see who was picked at pick number 21.
When you pick in
Oh,
the third
DeAndre
round,
Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins was picked at pick 21. Now Borden maybe he could have gotten Hopkins at 19 and then picked up Metcalf
at
on the
30.
next time around.
Yeah,
I don't know.
could be.
Maybe not.
But this is the kind of thing. Like if you're picking a guy where he has to perform at his ceiling to get to perform for the draft position, like if you pick DK Metcalf and he's the 4th receiver off the board,
Mm-hmm.
he has to be the wide receiver 4 to return on that value. And he didn't. So great pick, not a great value pick though. Dak Prescott was great till he got out for the season. Drew Brees was kind of a disappointment. Cam Newton, holy crap. Drew Lock, oh my God, why? Teddy Bridgewater, what the hell? DeAndre Swift was pretty good, honestly, last season for where you got him. And Christian Kirk, another player who really had no business being drafted at that spot. And his picks after that don't get a ton better either, although he did have a huge hit on CeeDee Lamb down there. Jerry Jeudy, he picked up another rookie receiver. He had a little back part of his draft was fine. But if you're just looking at his top 10 picks, which is all we're doing now, it was an unbelievable whiff. Nick Chubb was a hit. DK was good, but didn't.
But Chubb got
return on
injured.
Value.
Yeah, unfortunately, you run the risk, and Ray knows this better than anyone. When you take a running back high and they get injured, it really hurts.
It's true. But at the same time, that's luck. There's not much you can do about that. Speaking of Ray, third overall pick. Mertz.
Reigning Moy.
Did you know that Rat Ray means Rat King?
It does. Rat Ray, the king.
He's the king. So let's break down Ray's draft real quick. Saquon Barkley. Oops.
Dalvin Cook.
Ooh.
Yes.
Chris Godwin.
It was okay last year.
No.
That was bad.
Calvin Ridley.
This was
nice.
big. That was a big pick. Calvin Ridley in the 5th is what we call one of those uber value picks because he had great.
Look, if you compare DK Metcalf and Calvin Ridley last year, their ADPs, average draft position, were relatively similar. However, Borden reached down to the 5th round.
2 rounds.
Could have gotten DK and picked him up in the 3rd. Whereas Ray was patient, waited till the 5th to grab Calvin Ridley. And Ray
actually,
is the player who was able to get players like Chris Godwin, and Cortland Sutton, who normally would be good draft picks if they weren't for their injuries.
Things would have been
team
different
instead of just Calvin Ridley there. Now, let's keep moving down. Zach Ertz,
Right.
oops. Jonathan
Nope.
Taylor, fantastic.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, oh my goodness.
Game. Yep.
Daniel Jones, Joe Burrow. All right, so if you want your NFL career to come to a screeching halt, make sure that Ray Mortz drafts your team. On this list, he's got 3 season-ending injuries. Cortland Sutton went down for the season. Saquon Barkley went down for the season. Joe Burrow went down for the season. That's
Can we just say this though? Round 14, Ray probably has the best pick of the fantasy draft in round 15. It's Stephon Diggs. And Deontay Johnson was pretty decent in round at number 13 too.
Pretty
I mean,
decent?
those.
No, he was a beast.
Oh yeah,
dude.
and then look at this. He had Justin
Don't
Jefferson at 17, but I don't think he kept him.
No, he got released and picked up by me, who then traded him away.
Ray would have had the deepest draft if he had kept some of these guys, but still, that just a great. I'm gonna give him a B+.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Let's move on to the 4th overall pick. Favorite son Phil. He was rocking out with the GOAT squad.
The GOAT God.
Yep, that team was rocking Patrick Mahomes 1 overall, George Kittle 2 overall. Oops. Josh Jacobs 3 overall. Man, last year was hard for injuries, wasn't it?
Yeah. Austin Eckler.
Jacobs did not return on draft position there. No. Awesome Excellence did definitely. Austin Eckler, Awesome Excellence.
In a PPR league, he was valuable.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Mike Evans, DJ Chark.
That
Tom
was brutal.
Brady.
The GOAT. He trades away the GOAT in what I consider one of the it's a 2 QB league. The GOAT had a great year last year.
Yep.
And I don't remember who all he got. I feel like he got Devontae Parker in a trade with the GOAT.
Yeah, he got some players from me for Tom Brady. Jarvis Landry is the kind of player I would never draft. In a league with 8 people, every position on your roster needs to be elite.
Mm-hmm.
Jarvis Landry has 0% chance of ever being elite. He is a 0 upside player that should only be drafted in deeper leagues where middling, mediocre, crappy production is acceptable. Never draft Jarvis Landry in this league. And honestly, don't draft him in those leagues either, because you don't play for 3rd place. So don't draft Jarvis Landry. You play for 1st place. Anyways, Will Fuller V, huge year last year.
Gardner Minshew, the 3rd GOAT.
Yeah, ruh-roh.
So injured. He got injured.
Honestly, Phil's draft was actually pretty solid. Mahomes hit. George Kittle out for season. Bummer. Josh Jacobs, not that good. Another bummer. Austin Eckler, good. Mike Evans, up and down, but solid. DJ Chark, oops. Brady, great. Landry, unusable
what are you going to give
him? I'm going to give him a B+ in this draft here.
Wow, you put him on the same grade as Ray. I wouldn't even say they're remotely close. I've got Philly at a C. I just feel like he whiffed on some of these.
He did, but at the same time,
but I thought he did a great job managing.
I don't think that the thing is, Ray's draft was held up by his late rounds. If we're just judging the top 10 rounds here, which is all we're doing, I think Phil and Ray are actually quite close. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. You've got Dalvin Cook, you've got George Kittle. He's got elite players. George Kittle ended up being injured, and that's really sucked. But Phil got elite players at his positions. He clearly came in this past season, with a strategy. He executed it, and it didn't pay off for him, unfortunately. But that's how it goes. You got to hit on your late round stuff. And looking at Phil's late rounds, he whiffed on literally every pick. Tariq Cohen, unusable garbage. It's another low ceiling player. If the Bears' lead running back gets injured, does Tariq Cohen get all of the carries all of a sudden? No. Those carries don't go to Tariq Cohen. He is a 0 ceiling player. Deebo Samuel, that's a high ceiling player, but injured. Sterling Shepard, another low ceiling player. Marlon Mack, low ceiling player.
Got injured.
Henry Ruggs III, high ceiling, but didn't
Wasn't
do
used
anything.
properly, they say,
Yeah, it wasn't
in his
used
offense.
It wasn't used at all. Boston Scott, low ceiling player. And then he snags Antonio Brown with the last pick, who ended up being fine. But Phil
Right.
is obsessed with high floor, low ceiling players, and he needs to stop that in the late rounds especially. All right, let's move on to number 5.
Ooh,
That
this
is
draft is brutal.
Boy.
Larata Roja.
All right,
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
CEH.
Not a return on investment.
No.
Devontae
But he
Adams.
was fine. It's just where you drafted him was terrible. Devontae Adams, huge,
Great.
unbelievable. Aaron
Aaron
Jones,
Jones,
incredible.
huge. Allen
Allen
Robinson,
fantastic.
B plus player. Yeah, he had probably. I think he had like 6 touchdowns, over 100 catches.
Allen Robinson is a high floor player, but his ceiling is also high as well.
Mm-hmm.
Scoring 15 points per week, just consistently, which is kind of what Allen Robinson does, is good. Jarvis Landry scoring 9 points per week is bad. Like, one of those floors is acceptable in an 8-team league.
Yep.
One of them is never acceptable.
OBJ
Whoops.
and an injury. We'll never know what could have been this year. David Johnson. Whoops. Matt Ryan. Whoops. Tyler Boyd. That was pretty decent for a while, and then Joe Burrow got injured. Yeah. Carson Wentz. Whoops. Ben Roethlisberger. Decent, and then fell off at the end of the season. Cam Akers.
That's down into the 11. We'll just kind of let that be.
Cam Akers turned it on at the end, but I don't think I had him on my roster at that point. Zach Moss, bad. Michael Gallup, bad. Leonard Fournette, bad. I know. It's all trash at the end anyway. Yeah. Oh, Crowder, though. Crowder actually was, like, decent in PPR.
Yeah, he was good. But again, he's another low ceiling, high floor player.
I got to give myself a D on this draft.
I
just think I had
here's
3.
The thing. I look at your first 5 picks, and you hit on 3 out of 5. And you whiffed on every other pick, in my mind.
I
agree. Tyler Boyd is another high floor, low ceiling player. Don't like.
I whiffed on the rest. I only hit on 3, and then the rest I had to manage.
Yep. And so because of that,
I
give you a low C, because hitting on the top, you only hit on 3 out of 10, but
they were good hits.
On the top 3 out of 5, you had a chance.
Yep.
Between Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones and Allen Robinson, you had a chance. All right. Moving on to Jaboy, the corrupt commish.
Love the first pick, got injured. Love the second pick, got injured. Love the third pick, got injured.
How about the
fourth pick? Had an
underwhelming
season. Underwhelming season.
Tons of volume, didn't do anything with it. Kenyon Drake. So let's actually name these picks. Christian McCaffrey, injured. Julio Jones, injured. Joe Mixon, injured. Kenyon Drake, sucked. Kenny Galladay, injured. A.J. Brown, injured.
Started injured, came on big league for you.
Yeah, sure. Robert Woods, pretty good. He's another kind of Allen Robinson type player who's got a high floor, but it's usable, and he's got a ceiling above that. It's not just a high floor, it's a high floor with a ceiling. Whereas like Jarvis Landry, I'm just gonna keep on.
You're gonna bash.
I'm just gonna keep on shitting.
You
on
hate
Jarvis Landry.
This is what I know. You're not drafting Jarvis Landry this year.
No, dude.
Not even with the last pick to roster.
Literally not. I don't.
You don't even want to be teased into playing him.
No.
Antonio Gibson.
Antonio Gibson was next. Great pick, but did not start. Oh, we skipped Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, Terry Mack, great pick.
Antonio Gibson, another good pick.
Ryan Tannehill,
great Mostert, another good pick. And then, just kind of looking down the line, I did pretty bad going down. I didn't have any late round hits. So looking at my draft, I wish I'd taken more chances late round, played it less safe. I drafted Latavius Murray. That was a waste of a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Drafting TJ Hawkinson, he did fine. He kind of propped up my tight end position, which was good. Tyrod Taylor, waste of a pick. Noah Fant, waste of a pick. N'Keal Harry, waste of a pick. It was just bad. Anywho.
We can definitely improve our drafts. I actually love your draft, but they were all injured. I give you a C. You didn't. No, I actually love your draft, but
all about
a lot of injuries.
It's just, did they produce? Yeah, I know. Like, my draft looks fantastic. It looks incredible.
I can see the theoretical production.
If I had the same team this year, I'd feel incredible. the
Yeah.
exact same team, I would feel amazing. However, they have to play in order to score points. So I'm going to give myself a fat F.
All right. Brent Van Conyu.
All right. In the
You want to talk about
7th
hitting?
spot.
You want to talk about hitting? Look
Let's
at
go down
Brent
the
Van
list.
Conyu.
Alvin Kamara, number
Hit.
1 overall. Travis Kelce, number 1 overall. Deandre Hopkins was like a top 3 or something like that.
Top five.
Russell Wilson performed as number 1 overall for the first half of the season. Amari Cooper was incredible until
And
Dak
Russell
got
Wilson
injured.
finished as number 6 quarterback according to
Yep.
these scoring stats I've got.
Amari Cooper was incredible until Dak got injured, and then he was still pretty good. Chris Carson, great
Yeah,
value
Cooper
there.
finished as the number 19 wide receiver, and Hopkins finished as the number 10 wide receiver.
After Chris Carson, he grabs DJ Moore.
I'm sorry, that was standard, just so you know. PPR, Hopkins was number 4. Ooh, sorry.
Nice. DJ Moore, 7th round, good value there. T.Y. Hilton didn't pan out. His first whiff was in the 8th round. Like, that's impressive.
That's how you get to the playoffs.
Yes, that's how you get to the playoffs. Melvin Gordon, yep. Matthew Stafford, not great.
David Montgomery produced.
Crap. Just go down one more pick into the 11th, and oh my God, what a huge hit! The number 3 overall running back last year, incredible. I really love that Brent hit in his top 9 of his top 11 picks.
I've got Brent on an A plus. I'll give him an A plus.
Yeah. It's an S tier, easy slam dunk S tier draft for Brent.
All right.
No one's gonna hit on every pick, but to hit on every pick until round 8, that means you're getting elite talent onto your team that is all producing. Last overall pick, the first shall be last. The Avengers, Todd Craig.
Zeke.
Craig grabbed Zeke. Not a huge return on investment there for Zeke. He was pretty pedestrian.
For a first over, and he picked him maybe, what's the number on the pick?
6th spot.
Yeah, and Zeke, it looks like he finished number 9 overall at the running backs in PPR.
Yeah, so
not a good return.
Not a huge
but wasn't a miss. It wasn't a miss,
No.
and that's big.
He just wasn't elite.
Yep. Tyreek Hill, elite.
Yes. Adam
miss.
Thielen.
Injury miss.
No, Thielen was good last year. Adam Thielen? He was the 10th overall receiver, bro.
I see it right here. Gosh, I can't believe I really thought he didn't produce that much. I've got him here at number 10.
He missed one game in week 12.
Justin Jefferson was just producing so much as well. I really messed that up on Thielen. I thought Thielen.
Yeah, dude. Cooper Kupp was a bit of a miss, but did not sink you.
Yep.
Did not sink your boat. James Conner.
Miss. Kyler Murray.
There.
Big hit.
Huge hit. Todd Gurley. Kind of shocked.
Did he get
everyone.
some points? Yeah. I'm looking up Gurley.
In the starting of the year is 13, 6, 15, 19, 25, 9, 22, 10, 13, and then it just gets ugly.
Yeah,
3,
he finished
5,
as
3,
number
8,
29 overall, so he didn't really finish strong, but he at least produced early on.
And when you're drafting, that's kind of all you care about is are they going to produce at the start, and then you can trade them after that. Aaron Rodgers. Wow.
His quarterback play won him the league at Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers.
No, this is what won him the league.
Darren Waller.
Numbers? Number 2
For some
overall,
reason.
17.4 points per game out of the tight end position. Are you kidding me? In the 9th round?
I'm stunned that
That is what wins. That is the kind of hit where you take a chance on a guy in a round where you get unbelievable. If you were to know that Darren Waller was going to have that season, he gets picked the pick right after Travis Kelce. Promise you.
Yep.
Right after Travis Kelce, if you know that that's the kind of season that he's going to have. Keenan Allen in the 10th, another top 10 receiver. Are you kidding me? This guy's got 3 top 10 receivers on his team. Cooper Kupp is his wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
Wow, that is deep, deep depth. He whiffs on every other pick in his draft, but it doesn't matter when you hit on the first 10 picks in a row, except for James Conner.
Are you giving him an A or an A
S
plus?
Tier. I'm gonna give it an S.
S.
The miss on Zeke, we made a big deal of it. It really wasn't that big of a deal. He finished.
It wasn't.
He finished as the 10th running back, but because the gap between like the 5th running back and the 10th running back in points per game was not actually massive enough to cause a big difference. So yeah, I got to give it an S. I think the number of hits that Todd Craig had slightly outweigh the number of hits that Brent had, in that I think he just got more value out of Darren Waller. He got more value out of Aaron Rodgers, out of Kyler Murray, whereas Brent's quarterbacks was like Russell Wilson and nobody.
Mm-hmm.
That
adds up. Quarterbacks are so valuable in this league, especially if they're putting up big games like Murray and Rodgers, where it's like just an automatic 60 points.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
absolutely.
So, all right, you ready for the draft?
Yeah, dude.
I just told Gina, my wife, I said, look, don't bother me Saturday. Like the morning, it's blocked off on my schedule. Don't schedule anything. We're busy. I got the draft.
Yeah.
Are we doing? Yep. All right.
All right, boys. That is everything. Pete, did you have anything else that you wanted to say? It sounded like you started something there.
No, I'm ready. I'm excited. That's all. I will see you boys on Saturday.
All right, boys. We out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here.